Hi, I'm Dr. Matthew Barker with Integrative Pain and Wellness Center. Are you familiar or have you heard that our body can store trauma? Well, what our body actually stores from trauma are the emotions that we generated in response to that trauma. And I'm sure you're familiar with post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD or phobias, where people have an overly exaggerated emotional response due to the fear of something. Well, these are when these emotions that we hold on to cause such a problem that we label it as a diagnosis, and it's now causing that person problems in their daily life. But all of us have this phenomenon to varying degrees. So anytime that we perceive that a trauma or an injustice has occurred, and it's not just your big trauma like a car accident or a broken leg or a surgery or a bad breakup or the loss of a loved one, but also these injustices. Anytime that you feel like you have had an injustice done to you. A quick example, if you get cut off on the road, or somebody cuts you in line, or somebody lies to you or says something mean to you, all of those are instances that could cause someone to generate some negative emotions. And in my experience, whenever this event or occasion happens, we tend to generate 5 separate emotions. And those emotions, those negative emotions, are inherently uncomfortable. We don't like feeling them. They cause uncomfortable sensations within us. And so our natural inclination is to resist feeling those emotions. So we do things like numb, suppress, repress, ignore, and distract those emotions in an effort to get them to go away. And in fact, our body subconsciously tightens up in the area where that emotion would have been experienced in order to keep it out of our conscious awareness. And so if we can't feel the emotion, we stop thinking about the emotion. And so the suppression of emotions inherently causes chronic muscular or organ tension. And so those emotions, once they're stuck in the body, if we don't allow them to be expressed, they become stuck. That energy is not able to dissipate and pass through us. And they can lead to a number of physical and mental health problems. And those emotions have no expiration date. Once they're stuck in the body, until they are processed in one way or another, they will stay in the body. And they come with this invisible button that if your subconscious is reminded of the experience that caused that emotion, pushes that button, and you re-experience those emotions on top of whatever is going on in the current moment. So if your emotional reaction is ever out of proportion to what's going on in the present, somebody takes your pencil and doesn't give it back, and it should have, not caused you any distress, and you're like a 5 out of 10 on the scale, there's probably some trapped emotions tied to that pencil, or to someone taking something and not giving it back. And so when these emotions become stuck, again, until they're processed, they stay with us. And at the time that we have our children, any unprocessed emotions that we have at the time of conception we pass some of those on to our children. Our spouse passes some on to our children. And so those emotions can actually last lifetimes. So it actually doesn't take that long to process an emotion. On average, if you just surrender and allow yourself to feel an emotion without resisting, it takes about 90 seconds to pass one emotion. So to process the emotions from one event, we're talking 5 to 10 minutes of some pain and discomfort. And in our effort to avoid this 5 to 10 minutes of pain and discomfort, we end up creating sometimes a lifetime and generations of problems. So if you think that you are struggling with some unprocessed emotions, please call us. We can help.